right, well, we are back with another interview. I'm so excited today to talk to our esteemed guest. He is a cinematographer, director of photography. Please help me in welcoming Adam Shottuck. Welcome, Adam.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Did I say it right?
Yes, that's
Yes,
right.
okay.
Yes.
I was so nervous about saying his last name. It's a very unique name.
It is.
I don't know anybody with your last name except
I
for
don't
you.
either. So.
I don't know your brother, so I only know you. So welcome. I always like to start with letting the audience know, about your origins, like where you're from.
Yeah. So I was born in the suburbs of Chicago, and then at a young age, I moved just west of Indianapolis, where I grew up. And then just after I graduated high school, I moved out to LA, did the whole film school thing, and now we are
Oh,
here.
so that's how you got to LA. You went to film
Yes.
school here.
Yes, correct.
Can you share what school you went to?
I went to Los Angeles Film School.
Oh my God, so many people have gone to Los Angeles Film School.
They do have a lot of students they turn in and out. They start programs every month. So
Yeah, Issa Rae went to Los Angeles
a
Film
lot of people
School.
went there.
Yeah, a lot of people go there. So that's awesome. So did you go for camera?
So when I was there, they just had a general film program, and then towards the end of my first degree, like associates, they launched a bachelor's in cinematography. So that's what I did.
Oh.
So I got 2 degrees technically.
Oh, nice. So you have always wanted to be behind a camera. When did you pick up your first camera?
I have photos of me really young with an old point and shoot camera, and then I've just always had like behind the camera look. Like I was doing theater lighting in middle school and high school, and then end of high school I did journalism, so I was camera operating, I was editing, I was lighting, and all that. So.
But you fell in with the camera, like you kind of fell in love with the optics of being behind the scenes. We were talking, and I know that you do lighting stuff too. So let's talk about that. So you've been picking up cameras. You came up in the theater, learning all the logistics of running stage productions, and you went to college. Now you land here in LA doing camera work. What would you say um, goes into being an excellent cinematographer?
You gotta be well versed in everything, from technical side of cameras, what different types of cameras do, all the different types of lenses. I mean, different characteristics in lenses, and that's just on camera side. Lighting side, every light does something different these days. They're all pretty similar with LEDs, but you can use old tungsten lights still. You can use tubes still. It's just you gotta know what each light does.
Can you use flashlights?
You can use flashlights too. Yeah, they're a good gag light, good practical light if you need it. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I thought I was being funny.
No,
You're
yeah,
like, not again.
I've been on shoots where it's like a foggy, like horror thing, and they have a flashlight. You need to account for what the flashlight does.
That's interesting. And so, what's your favorite camera to work with?
So I love the Airy. What Airy does a lot with the Alexa 35 and the Mini LF, great cameras. But what I do a lot is I can see differences between Red, Airy, Sony, Panavision, all that stuff. So it's just whatever combination of camera and lenses for the project is usually what I go with. But if I had to choose, probably Alexa Mini LF.
Alexa Mini LF.
Yes.
Because there's so many. Well, I don't want to get you in trouble because I know that like sometimes there are deals. But can you say what your least favorite camera to use is and why, or do you not have a least
I
favorite?
don't really have a least favorite. I mean, they're good these days, but like the older GoPros are kind of wacky sometimes. They tend to overheat sometimes, but
Overheat. Wow. So, I mean, so you were explaining this to me. I want you to explain for the people at home. So, making movies are a very complicated thing, and it's a complicated process. Sometimes you have all these people on set, and you're like, why are there 4 people on one camera team? You just need one person. You just need Adam to point the camera and get the footage. But it's not that simple. You have a first AC, second AC, sometimes the third AC. So take us through those jobs.
yeah. So the core basics, you have your first AC, your second AC, and then depending on the type of shoot, what you need, you'll have different camera operators as well. So it's not just myself operating the camera. If I need like a big jib to like sweep in, I know how to do it, but I don't want to do it most of the time. So I'll have operators come in and do that specialize in that. But like the first AC on set, the main focus is to keep your shot in focus, since everything is all manual focus these days. And then they also keep track of like logs, keep streamlined, a good communication between the operator and the AC. And then your second AC is pretty much your assistant to your first AC. So they're looking at the battery on the camera, making sure it's fully charged. If it gets low on battery, they bring in a battery to swap it. They'll pay attention if I need to swap lenses. They'll go and get the lenses to swap with the first AC, and just pretty much a right hand man to your first AC.
Why are lenses so expensive? I mean, like, because I'm hearing like I had to transport a whole camera situation once, and I think I had $50,000 just worth of lenses.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, because lenses, you can use lenses. Lenses hold their value very well these days. Like even these days, some of the top lenses are lenses from the 60s and 70s.
Really?
They're still the standard lenses, the mounting they use is still very industry standard. So they'll go back and use those. They give you certain characteristics that are very looked after these days sometimes.
So you're just paying basically for what the lens does.
Yes, you're looking for certain characteristics in a lens. It's
depending on the film.
Yes, exactly.
And so when you approach a project, do you read the script and then sit down with the director and get a feel for how they want it to look?
Yeah. So you'll go through the script yourself and look at scenes, kind of get an idea, and then you'll talk with the director and see how they want it to look. So if they want it to look pretty modern, you get an idea for that. If they want it to look vintagey, you get options to like how vintagey they want it to look, what things you need to do to incorporate those looks. And then I would go into my research like, okay, I want this look. What combination of lenses and cameras and even sometimes filters get you to that look?
Ooh, there are lenses that come with filters?
Filters are, it's like not like iPhone filters, but it's a piece of glass you would put in front of your lens to manipulate the look.
Oh, see?
So,
there we go.
yeah.
I love filters. Everybody knows that
Oh, yeah.
about me. Okay, and now, how important is a shot list to what you do?
It's pretty important, especially on bigger feature-length projects, because you can go through it and see, okay, you need A, B, and C shot to get through your day. So it's pretty important on the longer side film, but on shorter side stuff, it's not as important, depending on your relationship with your directors. Like if you have a really good relationship with a director, you can just kind of go through it like, okay, we need this and this, and we're on the same page from the start.
And then just about winging it.
It's fun sometimes, but also sometimes it's a little, if you have a bigger crew, it can be a little bit of a hassle to just wing it. So,
Oh, because you have to set up every shot. And go
coordinate
through all
with the
that.
whole crew, yeah. So
Oh my gosh. So what is your favorite part about your job?
I love the aspect of building something from dark. So if you turn the lights off, you turn the cameras off, you got no image. So you turn the camera on, you get a base image, and then with certain lighting, you can create different moods and lighting. So just starting that, building the layers, foreground, background, everything like that to get your final image.
That's awesome. What's your least favorite part of doing DP work?
There's a lot of politics with it. Like we're technically not above the line in crew, but we're pretty up near
You're
the line.
very close,
very
yeah.
near the line. So you gotta deal with politics. You gotta deal with certain rental houses, gimmicks with that, building up your crew, stuff like that. So
And the crew is important.
yes,
But would you say that the director of photography is like the apex of the crew? Like,
I would for camera and lighting definitely. I would say so. Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a film without camera and lighting and sound.
Yeah. Someone
And
say, yeah.
sound. Okay. And I mean, I would like to get into the psychology because, for example, you guys do get Oscars for doing DP work, and it's a very big deal because this year we have a first woman being nominated for DP work for the work that she did on Cinematographer, which is very cool. But do you guys get to talk when you win your award? Like, is it televised?
Yeah, I think they made a rule a couple years ago at the Academy that every major award has a televised spot.
Okay.
So I remember, I think pre-COVID, there were some awards they just hand out.
Yeah, well, that you would get your moment, but they wouldn't televise it.
Exactly.
Which is crazy. That's
Yeah.
like their way of telling you, we don't care about what you do. And it's like, how are we being like that with our crews? Yeah, so with that being said, what would you say is the psychology of a DP? Like the psychology behind the job?
It's a big one on communication, I'd say, because if there's no communication, even with DP, the director, and producers, you don't get an idea of how you want it to look. And then from the DP down to the crews, you got to make sure to get the right image and the right idea before you go onto set, so everyone's on the same page. So it's a big communication job.
So what happens? Like, are there meetings that happen with the crew, or more like when you get there, it's just like, all right, this is what we're doing today?
A little bit of both sometimes. Yeah,
Okay.
depend. Like if I have my gaffers in my first AC, I'll talk with them before. But on the day, you'll go through your whole cruise and be like, okay, this is what we're doing today. So.
And who would you say is the most instrumental on set to DP?
I would say the gaffer.
Really?
Yes.
Not the director? No.
Well, the director, he do all his stuff on beforehand, but on
Right.
the day of the shoot, I would say the gaffer, just because the gaffer is your right hand man when it comes to lighting.
Mm.
So if you get your image and idea to them directly, they can go off to their crew and you can trust them. If you can trust them, you can talk to them 3 times a day and you'll be good.
Right. And then with the camera build out, you know, you say that, but what does that entail?
It's so many different accessories. So with lenses being manual focus, you have your follow focus. A lot of times you say it's a wireless follow focus, so you gotta make sure those channels are clear. You got wireless video feeds to directed monitors and video village, so that's a whole attachment
Oh,
onto
Video
it.
Village, that's my favorite place.
Yeah. And then to have those accessories on, you need certain mounting points onto the camera, so you need to make sure it has a certain cage so it gets your mounting. And then if you do handheld work, you need certain grips, certain handles to hold it properly. And then that's not even looking at an image, you need a viewfinder or a monitor on the camera as well.
Wow. And I mean, I imagine, because I was watching some of the making of Center, they said they were doing a lot of tests with the cameras. Like, they weren't leaving anything to chance. They're like, we need this look, we're gonna do this test, we need the dust blowing by. Like, have you ever been in a situation where it's been so niche and specific that you've had to do a lot of prep beforehand?
Oh yeah. I did a feature doc a couple years ago where we wanted a modern but vintagey look, so we had to go and find. I did a whole day of testing with a rental house. I pulled out like 7 sets of lenses, and just put them on the camera we're using. See, okay, this does this. How do I want it to look? And trying to find a lens as close to your look as you want.
Wow.
So
There's a lot of work that goes into
a lot of pre-game
just,
work, yeah.
I mean, because people might think, oh, you're behind the camera, just, you know, pointing and shooting.
No, a lot more than that, yeah.
It's a lot more than that. It feels like it gets more complicated every year.
Very much so. New technology, updated cameras, everything.
So what do you think about the IMAX camera?
They're fun. I've tested them a little bit. They're huge though. They're very huge. They suck for sound because they have big 70mm film and it goes by real fast and it just sounds like a big ticking. So it's hard to capture audio on set a lot of times.
Wow, that was gonna be my next question. Working with film.
Yeah.
Do you like it? Do you hate it?
It's fun. It's very niche. I enjoy it sometimes, but it's not as easy to work with it. It has its ups and downs. Like you can't just go to a monitor and see what your exposure looks like. You gotta have a good gaffer, a good light meter to be able to get your ratios right, make sure your exposure is correct.
Because when do you get to see if it's made on film?
After processing.
Right, and then there's a whole processing process where you have to take the film to a film house, they have to process it, so you have to watch it, the dailies, like the next day?
Yeah, if you're
and see what you got? Oh.
Yeah.
So what if the whole day is blown?
Then your whole day is blown.
Oh my goodness.
You can't use it.
Oh, I see why people don't shoot on film anymore.
Yeah, it's very expensive. Very expensive to shoot on film.
Okay, and risky, it sounds like.
Very risky too.
And risky, it sounds like. So I would like to know from your perspective what you feel like a good DP does.
I think a good DP is able to build a good crew that they can trust and work with, have good communication on set. Everybody can, especially these days with YouTube and everything, you can look up good cameras to use, good lenses to use, different lights. You can look up different lighting tutorials as well. But if you have be able to communicate really well and get your image across to the whole crew, that's a very good DP.
So then it comes out of communication.
Very much so.
And when you say build a team, because I know on the production end, we feel like we build the team. Like we hire everybody, but you build your team as far as the camera unit and the gaffers, or?
Yeah, camera and lighting, I would get a say. Usually it's just whoever you work well with and have good experiences with. So, because if you're on a movie for 30, 60 days, you gotta work with those people for 30, 60 days.
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure you gel well and get everything good.
That's awesome. Any favorite projects that you've worked on?
I've done a couple of short documentaries that did good on the festival circuit. Did Sundance, did Tribeca.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Did you get Kylie?
I shot Kylie. That was a
Merman.
fun one. Merman's a fun one too. That did the film circuit. Just short documentaries did really well. And then on the bigger side, I did a music video kind of deal with Will I Am for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. So that was pretty fun.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did you get to meet Joe Biden and Kamala Harris?
No, I didn't, but I directed it. So
Oh nice.
Yeah.
But you got to meet Will I Am.
yeah, yeah.
A few times.
times,
Yeah, you've worked with him a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. What would you tell someone out there that's a young person that is wanting to do cinematography?
I would say just start shooting stuff. Just start, grab a camera, play around with it, take some cheap whatever lights, start playing with it, see what they do, position them in different spots, and just get familiar with creating an image. And then from there you can mess with stuff, mess with variables, and see what happens.
What would you say is your favorite film from a cinematography perspective?
Interstellar is great, just an overall film. One of my favorite cinematographers is Roger Deakins. And one of his sayings is, if the cinematographer does a great job, you don't recognize the work. Like, it doesn't stand out to you. Because it keeps you in the film.
Oh, right, so you're not like, that was a great shot.
You're not, like, distracted by the cinematography. You're invested in the film. So that's a thing I like to play with sometimes.
Wow. So Interstellar.
Interstellar is great as well, yeah.
Isn't that Christopher Nolan?
That is Nolan, yeah.
That man's a madman genius. Like,
Yeah.
every frame is just,
Yeah.
wow. You have to think, like, where headspace do you have to be in to create the stuff that he creates?
They get so detailed with Christopher Nolan stuff. And I think Hoyt does a lot of his cinematography. It's very great.
Oh, wow. That's really, really dope. What is a movie that you saw and you said, oh my God, this is bad as far as cinematography? Can you say, if you can say?
I mean,
we all
it's
have
hard to pick certain films exactly. I mean, coming up through film school, you see a lot.
Yeah.
So you get shown the good, you get shown the bad. You shoot good stuff, you shoot bad stuff. So it's just.
And everybody starts off shooting bad stuff.
Everyone.
You have to be bad.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to go through the process, you're never going to get to the other side.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
I've shot stuff I don't want to see the light of day. So.
You're like, so I'm going to be blown out of that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about some of the things that I see on certain platforms, and I'm just like, ooh, how did you turn this in?
Yeah.
I mean, so what would you say? Okay, so if you had to pick, and you had a film in front of you, I said, look, Adam, something's going to be bad. So it's either going to be the light or the sound. Which one?
Sound really takes you out of it.
Oh yeah.
Bad sound.
So people go bad light.
I can forgive bad lighting sometimes, but
sound is just unforgivable.
Because it's one of your main. I mean, seeing is one of your main senses, but there's a whole lot to it. Sound is sound, and that's it.
Sound is sound. It'll ruin your whole picture.
Yeah.
So, any dream collabs? Anybody that you would just love to work with?
Love to shoot like Leonardo DiCaprio. I did some music video stuff back in the day. I wanted to shoot Lil Wayne a lot. Didn't get around to do it.
Is that your favorite rapper?
He's up there. He's definitely up there. So, but yeah, Leonardo I'd say is probably the top guy.
Why would you? I mean, is it because he's a good actor?
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Very invested into his films. So it's just to have the talent that he brings to a set would be great to work with.
I think that Leo's an anomaly because it's like he's so attractive, but he doesn't lean on that. It's like, no, I'm actually a really good actor. The bonus is that I'm attractive, but I'm here to act. So we love that. What's coming up next for you? What are you doing?
I'm finishing shooting one feature documentary. I have another one that's getting some distribution now. Hopefully comes out by summer. Commercials here and there pop up. So yeah.
But if they want to find you because they want you to shoot something, where can they find you?
My Instagram is @AdamShottuck, or you can see my website, AdamShottuck.com.
Oh, I think I'm going to go to AdamShottuck.com today because I have not been to your website.
Which is good. Really good.
All right. Well, you can go see what he shot there, and if you want to hire Adam, he's available right now for a very small window of time. But thank you so much for joining us, Adam. He's always behind the scenes, but he came out in front today for us, so we appreciate you.
Of course, anytime.
Thanks for coming, and thank you out there. Stay tuned because we have more interviews coming up. Bye. So you have a whole website.
Yeah.
And it has all your cinematography roles on there.
Most of it, yeah.
Oh my God, I love that.